Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is Sunday Night Live. What's today's date? It is August 11th, 2019, and we are back, myself and Joe Dirty Locks, tonight. Sorry, forgive us for the slightly late start. It's been so long since we podcast, they discontinued Google Hangouts, so we didn't know how to connect and actually talk, so we had to download Skype and figure out all this nonsense, sort of behind-the-scenes stuff that you guys don't really care about, but it happened anyway. But we're here tonight, and I'm not alone. I have with me Joe Dirty Locks. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Yo.
Yes.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah, it's good. And hey, I've been dying for a review of The Boys. The Boys is definitely what we're going to be talking about tonight. There's a lot of stuff that we'll be discussing this evening. This is a catch-up stream. Joe and I haven't been back together since the final episode of Game of Thrones. I haven't really been out here to talk about too many shows. And like always, we're those kids in class that wait till the last minute and study, watch all the shows at once and combine them all together. So we have a bunch of stuff that we've been wanting to talk about and do reviews for. So instead of doing individual ones, we're going to talk about all those shows tonight. And also take your motherfucking comments in the live motherfucking chat. We got Timo, we got Killmonger, we got Hendrix, we got Christian, we got Kaylana, we got Peter Griffin, Zancy. I saw SM down in there, Eccentric. We got all of our good friends all around. Santovia, hope you feel better this evening. And, we have a lot to talk about. And what's funny about the shows we're talking about, there's connective tissue in all of them. I mean, it was almost like the main show that I want to talk about tonight is, of course, The Boys, as you can see in our the thumbnail for this. This is a show, and I'll get it. I don't care. Like, we'll get initial thoughts off the bat. Because
don't you, Phil? Don't you, though?
I just fucking love this show, dude. I can't get enough of that show. It was really awesome. It was what was it, 8 episodes of pure me in my television orgasmic glory. It was a one big long glow. And I know it's not a show for everybody, because every show isn't for everybody, and it's hard to find universal television programs that can connect with wide audiences. And I'm not sure if The Boys is that kind of show, but I know it's the right show I needed at the right time to give me the right feeling. And it also connects to Cobra Kai and trolls us for Better Call Saul as well, because Gus shows up. And there's a whole bunch of shit. So tonight we're going to be talking about The Boys. We're also going to be talking about Cobra Kai Season 2. We'll be talking a little bit about Stranger Things Season 3. We'll be mentioning The Walking Dead. And we'll be talking a little bit about Glow Season 4. And maybe, I guess, mention a thing or two about a season that probably most people forgot even existed. And I think Joe and I forgot existed too. Jessica Jones Season 3 as well. And I don't know if Joe even made it through it, but I will talk about that a little bit. And I'll talk a little bit about the final season of Orange is the New Black. I think you quit after 2 episodes.
No, we went back in for more, but I don't know if we finished Jessica Jones this last.
Well, we'll talk. We'll get into that a little bit later. But everybody,
we may have. I think we did.
Hey, we got broke in the live motherfucking chat as well. Timo says she just rewatched The Boys today. I literally just finished The Boys probably about 2 hours ago, the final episode of it. Wow. Okay, should we just start off by talking about that? First of all, non-spoilers, first thoughts about The Boys. Joe, what's your opinion of The Boys Season 1 without spoilers at first, and then we'll break it down with some spoilers.
Fantastic. It was great balance between humor, action, and the effects. I thought were done very well. And yet another series that got fast people right over, anybody that's ever tried to do The Flash.
Throwing some shade at Broke right there for the CW stuff. And I have not seen Wu Assassin yet. Straight up hottest chick in television fandom says it's Starlight, the hottest chick on there. Where's Joe's dread? He shaved it all. Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah, Joe, I would agree with you. Really awesome show. It was one of those shows that incredibly was able to combine a lot of different elements all together. It could be gory at times and over the top, almost on the verge of a Quentin Tarantino from Dusk Till Dawn, Robert Rodriguez kind of Splatterhouse kind of moments. But then it had these moments of real serious human interaction, questioning the whole superhero thing and doing all of that, which I think is an interesting time. I almost compared it right at the beginning, and I don't think it ended up like this, but at times almost like the Tick meets Deadpool or something, because I like the universe that it creates.
The new Tick is awesome, too.
The new Tick is awesome. I agree. But I don't know. This show just combined a lot of really amazing elements. We got a Star Trek reunion in one episode where we got Simon Pegg doing a really awkward American accent. And I always say, anyone could do an American accent. It threw me off how convincing it was at times in that part.
He did well.
He did well. It was off-putting, in that kind of way. And I thought the person that stole the show, and I mean there were a lot of really great actors and great moments in the show, but it really was all about Butcher. For me, when at the end of the day there with the show, it was about Carl Urban. I think he's done a lot of really great parts. I think he was effective as Dr. McCoy in the Star Trek thing, in a very difficult part that could really piss me off because I hate cosplay movies like that, but I thought he did a decent cosplay version of Dr. McCoy. He's great in the Lord of the Rings movies, but he never really, for me, kind of identified himself in his own individuality as that breakout character for him. He was always just kind of one of the boys, in a different way of saying it. In this role, it's like going fit into a glove. Perfect. Role. It's his own role and it perfect. He kills it in a way that very few actors get to play characters like this and just kind of eat scenery up in awesome ways. Tom Hiddleston's Loki in the Marvel movies reminds me of that in a different way, but where he can just play every emotion he wants to play at any time, and the way he manipulates everyone in this Bruce Wayne manipulating all the younger Robins and Barbara kind of way to get exactly what he wants. I think it's just immensely effectively shown, and the twist at the end.
I loved Frenchie.
Frenchie was great too. All of it, like their whole crew was exceptionally amazing. I definitely love that. What happened? People in the live thought,
fucking awesome. What
happened to You're a Good Lad, Phil? I didn't like the new Tick. I was hoping it would do the animated show redone in live action. I feel like he auditioned for Butcher, but instead was cast as Hugh's dad. Yeah, I can see something like that with Simon Pegg. They're like, actually, no, just go over there. But I love how we got the Star Trek reunion. The guy who played Superman. Okay, for people that haven't seen the show,
Henry Cavill.
No, it wasn't Henry Cavill. I mean the guy in this that played Superman. What was?
From Banshee.
I've never seen him in anything else before. He impressed the shit out of me.
This show called Banshee, and it is fucking a really good show to watch. It's fun. It's a lot of good action. He's in that. He's the main dude in that.
Yeah, he surprised the hell out of me, and in some ways he stole a lot of the performances because I feel like he was just sneaky good, and as the season went on, you just learned more about him, and we'll talk about spoilers in a second here. It's the conclusion of the season is just exceptionally well done too, and it opens things up for more. And I'm just very excited about that show. I thought the cast worked really well together, and there was a good balance of everything. And it was. I'm not gonna say it was predictable, but you kind of knew the beats that the season was going to go. But it was surprised me on how much balls the show had, and didn't kind of relent, and just kept raising the stakes to that final point. I don't know if there's much more we can talk about without spoiling stuff, Joe. Anything else in the non-spoiler part here?
I loved fucking Frenchie.
Frenchie was good. Translucent was great in his small part. The way he was like talking shit. The way they hit.
Such a fucking perv.
Yeah. The way they hit.
Of course, right? Like.
Yeah. No, of course. Of course. He just shows up everywhere in the bathroom. And I love that. That was mystery, like somewhat the balance to like Mystery Man with Keenan and Kel, with the naked man when only people don't look at him and stuff. But I like that. I like how he was translucent. There was a lot of like little bit characters and casting things that popped up in that show, and it's not like popping in my head right away. I'm thinking who they were, but Frenchie's whole interaction with the girl that they bumped into, their whole relationship was fantastically done, dude. The other member of the team, and the way he kind of was won over and protecting his family, and I thought every member of the team worked really well together. And Hugh.
I loved that scene when they first came across the Asian girl.
Yes.
She's fucking great.
Yes. And the character that played Hugh, at first, he won me over too. He wasn't immediate for me. He was probably, I wouldn't even say he was the weak link, but
is he a Quaid, Katie? No.
is he a Quaid? He's a Dennis Quaid. He's a Randy Dennis Quaid. He looks really old. He has an old face.
Who's the guy that he's been with who's fuck man, yeah, he's someone's kid, I forget.
So
Shit. He looks a hell of a lot like, I thought at first, I was like, oh my god, it's Bill Hader's kid or whatever his name is. But no, it's
okay, well,
Goldie Hawn. Yeah, Goldie Hawn and
Kurt Russell's kid?
No. Dennis Quaid and who's
Meg Ryan? Okay, let's not play this game here.
What's his name? What's her name?
Meg Ryan is who Dennis Quaid was banging for or was married to for a while. Sure.
That's the one then.
Okay.
That's the one.
That's the one. Oh my God, the guy who got his dick snapped off. Yes. Okay. So here we go. If you haven't seen the Boys and you don't want to be spoiled, now's the time to go away for about 5-10 minutes or so, or pause this stuff. But I would say a few things about the Boys. It's one of those shows that I think I would enjoy it even if it was spoiled. There was nothing that happened in the season that I'd be like, oh my God, I didn't want to know that was going to happen. It was more watching the way it happened rather than knowing the things that happened. But that being said, spoilers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoiler time. Fucking A, the way it all ended at the end of the season, do you think... Is Homelander telling the truth? Did she go willingly? Was it not a rape and then she got pregnant and they're hiding her in that situation? Like the whole final scene of this episode when Homelander brings Butcher to the scene, we see that the wife's alive with the kid is actually Homelander's kid. I love how this show, we think we know who the good guys and the bad guys are, but there really are no good people on this show, except for maybe Hugh. But even though Hugh's a murderer and Starlight, too, but like
what about Starlight?
Starlight's the only good person, but she even struggles with it for a little while.
No.
Oh, what's his name's brother?
Hugh being a murderer, I don't call that murder.
Oh, what is it then?
He was. Listen, you let Translucent go, right?
Right. They didn't have a choice.
Hold on. Does he not then kill them, or at least Hugh? Like, come on, really?
Yeah,
honestly,
no.
He was gonna kill them anyway, and then you did all that shit.
Once he let him go. Yeah, once he saw their face, it's done. You got to kill him. You got to kill him, no question.
And he already knew because he showed up like right away. He saw from the beginning. Right, he was watching.
I love when he goes all Princess Vespa from Spaceballs with the machine gun at the end. That's not bad. Not bad for Rambo. When he just starts shooting the machine gun at the end there when Frenchie's gets his arm shot, splat all over the place. It was in the final episode where they're escaping from the location, and Frenchie goes and sees his girlfriend through the window, and he like puts his arm up and he gets shot, and then they're hiding when the other dude runs and goes and gets her, and Hugh has to fire the machine gun. I love how there was a few moments, and I can't even think about them. There was one from The Godfather and one from a couple of other movies where they paralleled scenes from other things within the show, and they did it in this subtle way that if you didn't know the scene, you wouldn't know that they were doing it, and if you did, you'd understand that they were doing sort of an homage to it. I wish I could remember the exact moments, but there were a few, and I'm sure some better YouTube person than me will do the top 100 things you miss on The Boys or something, and it'll be really awesome, and you'll go, oh my God, that's from Ferris Bueller's Day Off or something. Not really, but or it's similar to me in this season. Is it this season? I get so confused because there's so many 80s things right now. I think in this season of Glow, for a second you see the Top Gun guys or something. Or is it Glow or it's some maybe it's in Glow this season. Anyways, but I thought just so effective. I love the whole vibe of the show, and I was saying this at the beginning, that you don't have Superman and the Flash and Wonder Woman, but you have Superman, the Flash, and the Wonder Woman. They do it in a way that you can have those characters. Every character, for the most part, is reflective of some other...
Even like Batman.
Who is the Batman? Who would you say? Butcher?
Dark Black Noir.
Or I was thinking he was more Steel or something like that, but I guess yeah, probably. I love that
brooding in the background
when he starts playing the piano and stuff. And okay, another highlight point for the season for me. Really killed it this season. This comes from someone that I've said this before. Yes, I have in fact watched the first episode of the new season of 90210, and I will be talking about it. I like cheesy teen dramas. I've watched all of them. I've watched all the fucking bullshit, right? And I've watched Gossip Girl. And I know Joe hasn't watched Gossip Girl, but one of the characters that plays one of the superheroes is a character from Gossip Girl. And it's so amazing to see him on this show play opposite. It almost reminds me a little bit of Dylan's character in American Strays because he's playing so against his type. I'm talking about Aquaman, the Deep. The Deep is on Gossip Girl, playing Nate is the character's name on Gossip Girl, and a very like richy poshy kind of guy on that show. And this is the first thing I've really seen him in since then. And to see Nate be gill raped like that, and to see the whole deep storyline in general, and seeing how all in this actor went on that role, he impressed me because I didn't think that actor had that in him from seeing him on Gossip Girl. Because Joe, I know you hate all those shows, but there's a hierarchy in the acting level on them, and there's certain people that are better on those shows than not. And he was one of the fuck off. He was one of the worst ones on Gossip Girl. He was. The dolphin scene was traumatizing. Oh yeah, that scene, the scene where the dolphin dies in the same episode like a baby dies, and the person I was watching it with was like, I feel so much worse for that dolphin. Like that dolphin scene was gasping. Like you're like, oh my god, ow. Oh my. Blue Steel says, holy shit, Phil and Joe streaming again. As Christmas come early, another wet dream. Homelander equals Superman, Queen Maeve equals Wonder Woman, A-Train, Flash, Deep, Aquaman, Black Noir, Batman. Okay, so the original Justice League characters.
Yeah, the seven.
The seven. We don't have a Martian Manhunter unless that was Translucent, is of course many other characters. I believe at one point in time we did see a Mystique.
The Invisible Man was one of them.
With the Invisible Man, we saw a Mr. Fantastic, and I love how they crossed over to both sides. Like you definitely saw some Marvel archetype characters throughout the season, as well as I said, the Mystique character that we saw that was the shapeshifter that was used for comedic value. And I like how the show always kept its ridiculosity and its comedic tone to it, even when it was doing some serious stuff, and it never got too serious. But I don't know. I can't speak enough awesome things about this show. And to transition into what our next show will be. But
dude, I loved what's his name there? What was his name actually? Mystic? No, it was the mind reader.
Oh yeah, the
When
fucking
the final scene with
what's his
Butch?
name? I see dead people. It's the same. It's what's his name? It's why am I blanking this actor's name? The kid from The Sixth Sense. And also Pay It Forward, and someone in the live motherfucking chat will pop it. Oh, the Deep in the lobster scene, in the lobster oh my goodness. The way that all went, and then the lobster ultimately getting killed.
Yeah, dude, back to the fucking dolphin. If I touch it, will you shut up?
Just touch it. But such a great season. Homelander is such an interesting character because I always would say that my favorite Superman stories are the ones when Superman goes a little bad, and Mesmer was his name, but the actor's name is what the fuck's the actor's name? I'm so blanking on it. But
I can't think of it right. Yeah, dude,
Joe's what?
I'm gonna look up Mesmer here. Is that what I'm about to do?
Yes.
I'm about to get mesmerized. Yeah, and it was Dennis Quaid's kid, Hugh.
And A-Train was amazing in the season 2 with the whole stuff with the steroid use and him.
He's from something too, A-Train.
Yeah, but he was incredible. And let's not forget about how the whole season starts with Hugh and his girlfriend there, and she just gets ran through by the Flash. And that's when you're just like, what the fuck kind of show am I watching here? Popclaw. Yeah, Popclaw, her in this season was incredible too. There wasn't one character that stood out to me as false or that didn't work within the universe. Yeah, the finger fucking the Deep scene was amazing. The whole relationship with Starlight and her mom. But we've gone this far in here without talking about probably the major key character. Thank you, Haley Joel Osment. Thank you, Sarah.
Yep.
Thank you, Sarah. Haley Joel Osment.
Beat me to it.
Yes. I knew someone would beat us to it. But the breakaway character, I've said that about 10 times in the season, talking about the show, because I feel like every character is effing amazing. But the person that didn't shock me because I've always had a crush on her and I've always loved her. And I'm talking about Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue shows another level of acting ability that I didn't.
She's gorgeous.
She's still good. And how
now you know why she wasn't on one of our other shows.
She's coming though. She's coming, dude.
Oh yeah, she was.
No, they made sure shut up. They made sure she's dying at the end of that season because she's a one-woman girl and the one guy girl, whatever. Her boyfriend Johnny's waiting for her, and we'll transition to talk about that show next. But she left. She actually didn't leave. She magically transported herself to make a special phone call that would be ringing in the beach after Miguel. No, I don't want to talk about that show yet. Just I don't want to spoil anything. But a couple more things about The Boys, but that will be the next show we talk about. But Elizabeth Shue, someone who generally, I mean, if we all think about it, at least of our generation, Joe, or even most of the people that can follow her career, have followed her through her entire career and seen her
adventures, right?
Adventures of babysitting. Yep.
With my favorite Thor.
With the Kingpin there.
Vinny.
Yeah, Kingpin Thor right there in Adventures in Babysitting, the first ever Thor on a live television, live on a movie. I mean, her first, and then in Cocktail with the cruise missile and stuff. And she's been leaving Is it Leaving Las Vegas, or is it the other Las Vegas movie with Nick? I don't know. She's in one of the Las Vegas movies.
She's still so hot though.
She is. Okay, but beyond that, she's incredibly hot. She aged extremely well. She looks better than she ever has. I agree. She looks incredible, dude.
Yeah,
incredible.
Oh, fuck.
10 points to her surgeons. Like, she looks really.
No, I don't think none.
You think that's all natural?
None. I thought none. I thought she had not touched us.
Either way, whatever she's doing, it works, and I can't wait.
To me.
But
she looked like she had regularly aged, and she was absolutely.
But her acting has gotten even better. She kills it this season as that manipulation role, and she almost balances it all. But Homelander's just a couple of steps ahead of her by the end, and that sex scene between them and the way she's handling him and the way she manipulates him and controls the whole situation, just unbelievably amazing. I kind of felt sorry for Homelander. He deserves vengeance unfought. At the end, that's what I mean. Excellent point, Peter Griffin. At the end of this all, that's where I'm saying you don't know who's good or bad. You can actually relate to Homelander after you see him do so many sick fucking things this whole season and go, he got fucked in this deal. Especially if he never actually raped Butcher's wife and it was consensual. And he's
done a lot of fucked up shit.
He has, but it still made me care about him for a second there in that moment and relate to him. I'm just giving the show credit.
No, because you
didn't. Okay, tell me, Joe.
There's still no.
Broke says fuck Homelander.
There's no evidence to say other than what we know. What we heard. Like, we don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You just don't know.
Brooke says he shot down a fucking plane in episode 1, Phil. There's no good guy here.
A whole plane with a family on it.
Oh yeah, he didn't even let Maeve save any kids.
To kill a mayor who was trying to get a little bit more money for their services.
Dude, that was so fucking sick. He created multiple supervillain terrorists. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's a total piece of shit.
But check out Banshee, dude.
I honestly, it makes me want to because this actor. There's a lot of great things that happened this season. As someone said, most of the actors in the things was Leaving Las Vegas was the one she was in. Thank you. I knew she was in one of the Nick Cage Vegas movies. And we'll get to Vegas a little bit later when we start talking about Glow. Okay, so he came up with a plan for A-Train to drug his girlfriend to death. Okay, so Homelander is a miserable son of a bitch. As Broke is just going to continue here. He could continue for another fucking hour. I don't know if there's we could continue talking about this show. A+ is all around for me. I know it's not going to be a show for everyone because of the ultra crazy.
It's a show for the whole family. Kids should sit down and watch it with their parents. It's completely safe for work if you want to stream it there.
Totally. Dogs and cats living together in mass hysteria.
Yeah, it's good, wholesome, clean comic book fun for the whole family.
I agree. It does make Deadpool look very wholesome. You know, it makes a lot. It makes that seem like a family film. But I think at the point in time where we are with that era of television or of the film industry, of the media, it's television too, of the superhero culture thing that's going on in the media. Or in the media, or I don't mean the media as in the reporter media. I mean like the media that we're getting. It's just so excessive everywhere we're getting, and from television, movies. It's good that we're getting stuff like this and like Deadpool, stuff that can break it down and break through the fourth wall of it all and do it in ways it hasn't been done before. And things like this have been done in the comics. If you go to the Justice Lords or in the Justice League cartoon series, where Superman does go rogue. And that's what I was talking about earlier. The stories I love the best with Superman in it are the ones where he abuses his power. And I love how that gets explored to every end, because I think him just being a good guy, a good wholesome dude doesn't work for drama. And I think this show puts up an interesting thing, because through the whole season, I kept going, he's got to have a kryptonite. What the fuck's his kryptonite? What the fuck's his kryptonite? And they never really address that, except it's Elizabeth Shue. But Elizabeth Shue, he's just like, fuck you, and gives her the clue.
It was enough. Enough was enough with that one. That was such a great kill.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The Elizabeth Shue death was perfect. It was perfect.
Dude, Butcher's response was perfect too. It's exactly what I said. I was like, oh well.
Fuck it.
Boom.
Fucking bum. Yeah. What's he going to do at that point? And then when he wakes up, and that whole way that whole final episode. And I like how more shows are topping off on 8 episodes, because if that's all the story you have, don't pad it out to 10. I wanted more and more of this show, but whatever it was a perfect marriage. Kept me hungry for more. I'm confident that we will get more of this show. And for me, it's 10 out of 10 side buttholes. I fucking love this show, and I want more of it.
Right, Timo, exactly. That was the moment I was all in. When A-Train went right through, I was like,
oh,
what the
yeah, and they
I was like, I even said to Kay, I was like, did she just get hit by the Flash? I've always wanted to see that. Like, accidental.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that never even gets talked about, but could easily happen.
Because the Flash should be able to move around that person, right? They can move that fast. Why didn't he move around her?
People are thinking they lost to Joe cut his dirty locks. No, he just has them all neatly packed away. There we go. Haley Joe Osmo. Yeah, he was great too. Kaylana. Haley Joe was amazing, and I mentioned it earlier. Kaylana, who's one of my Star Trek mutual Star Trek lovers. We got the start, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the JJ thing. We did get that moment of the reunion of two crew members of the Enterprise. I was wondering the whole season, once I saw Simon Pegg and Carl Urban were both in the show. I was like, oh, we're gonna get the McCoy and Scotty scene, and we did get the McCoy and Scotty scene, where he's like, good to meet you, and I like that scene. But all in all, I mean, we can keep talking about favorite moments. Do you have? Okay, I guess when the girl was ran through, that was one of the moments where I was all in as well, because the way the effects were done too, right down to you mentioned that at the beginning, Joe. The way the effects were done, that could have thrown this show completely off. But there was a couple. Okay, if I'm talking about one criticism I have for it, and this is a very minor criticism, but if it has to do with some shows, and this is a bad one for it. The sound mixing was a little off. There was at times where I had to turn the volume, and this is very minor. There was at times where I had to turn, maybe it was my system too, where I had to turn the volume way up to hear some of the dialogue. But then when the music kicked in or some of the special effects kicked in, it was extremely loud, and then I had to turn the volume way down.
I didn't have that problem.
I had that problem a little bit, and that
was your system.
Then that's a system problem. Then fuck my system. But I wouldn't even take points off of that. I'm just saying that was.
You hear that? You hear that, everybody? We need a new system over there.
There needs to be a new system, dude. What are you guys talking about? We're talking about The Boys. Oh, loved it. Okay. So everyone, they're already filming season 2. Season 2 is happening. I think this show isn't a show that we have to worry about not keeping the same energy up. I think this show will definitely keep the same energy up, and will tell the story for as long as it needs to be told. I don't think it's going to go on too long or anything like that, but I don't know. I love it, Joe. Anything else that you want to say about it that we haven't already fucking talked about it?
2 C4s up, I guess.
Yeah, fucking A, man. Fucking A. Great fucking show. And you know what's amazing about this show is that there were a couple of other shows this year that I thought couldn't match my level of excitement because I was so excited while watching them. And what's funny, as I mentioned earlier, one has some sort of crossover appeal, because at the end of the season of one of them, we maybe get a little shout out for a character that was in The Boys. So let's move on to our next show. And by the way, if we if through this podcast, through this show here, if you guys have any questions about the boys as we go along, feel free to ask them.
It reminded me a little bit of Powers, if anybody out there has seen Powers, which was a PlayStation View original.
Oh, you talked to me about that. I never saw it, but you said it was really
It had 2 seasons. It was good. It had the guy from Hardcore Harry, District 9.
Jay, sorry, Joe. I have
Elysium.
Jay, I have in fact watched it. I watched episode 1. It was
18.
It was funny. I enjoyed it. It did make me miss Luke Perry a lot, but I did enjoy it, and I will be watching the whole season, and at the end of the season, be doing a full review of it, Jay. So if you're watching it, you can be the one person in the live.
Yeah, Luke Perry had his American Strays moment.
Yes, and oh, you asshole! And it's we happen.
Everybody should check out that movie. Everybody should check out the movie American Strays.
Let's rewatch it and make sure it holds up first.
No. It's got Jennifer Tilly. It's got I forget who the vacuum cleaner salesman.
Is he somebody though? Is he a recognizable person? The vacuum cleaner.
Yes, he is absolutely a recognizable person. People would know who he is. Also the other 2 guys. Also, what is it? Roberts. There, Julia Roberts, Eric Roberts.
Oh, Eric
brother.
Roberts. Yep. Yeah, Eric Roberts.
Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts. Yeah.
That's how he gets introduced at parties. I am Julia Roberts.
Even though he was a star first.
Yeah. But I wasn't a hooker with a heart of gold. Okay, so let's go into our next show that we're going to talk about here today.
Black Sail's iconic. You have said this twice, and you have to stop cluttering up this chat with that bullshit, because the only season worth watching on Black Sails is the first. Other than that, it really just goes downhill. The biggest problem with Black Sails is everybody's pearly fucking white, perfect, straight fucking tooth.
We've already been through this before with Joe.
Joe. Oh my fucking Lord.
Joe, don't troll Timo. You were getting along so well with Timo on your.
That wasn't Timo. That was for Iconic.
Yeah, but she loves that show too. Okay. So let's continue here.
It's got a lot of fucking big.
Joe, while you're amped up, before we get into our next show, let's pause our television show discussion and talk a little bit about The Walking Dead here. So I have a couple of questions.
Let's pause all discussion
and talk about The Walking Dead here for a second. We're into the Walking Dead discussion. Okay, 3 things about The Walking Dead here we're going to talk about very quickly, that I want to get Joe's thoughts on. Number 1, are you at all excited for coming into season 10? Did you watch the season 10 trailer at all?
There was a trailer?
There was a trailer. Okay.
No, I have not watched it, and as far as am I excited for it? Yeah, dude, I am fucking pumped, actually.
You are? Are you actually pumped?
I can't wait for this.
Okay, so Joe's excited, so we'll get into that one. I'll watch the trailer with you later, and we'll get some thoughts in our preview Walking Dead Season 10 cast. Into the next factor, and I know you're just going to say you're excited for everything. And the Rick Grimes movie. There was a
cannot wait for this.
We're going opening night, aren't we? Fucking A. Joe and I will.
Wait, was there a helicopter in the teaser, in the trailer?
I think so. No, in the Rick Grimes one there was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Oh, was it in The Fear? Did they have a helicopter show up in The Fear?
There's always helicopters everywhere. I did. You lie, Joe. You lie. Okay, so Joe.
I lie.
This isn't a lie. Joe and I will be going to the Rick Grimes movie.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Opening night. We'll try to go opening night.
Fuck yeah, we will.
We will.
We'll podcast right afterwards too.
Yeah, we will. Like from the parking lot, maybe. Like, or no, we'll just come right here and we'll do a podcast, or wherever I'm living at that point. We'll do a podcast. We'll do it. But we're excited. We'll be talking about The Walking Dead this coming season. The trailer, I watched it. It didn't really do much for me as a whole. I did have a couple moments where I was eager. It does seem like they're going to be. It does seem like I love the chat. People, please view the chat right now. And oh my gosh. Fuck Joe. Fuck Joe. Oh, okay. So. But the thing I want to talk to you most about The Walking Dead, because I don't want to talk to you about trailers. I don't want to talk to you about hype for seasons, because you don't like talking about that bullshit. What I do want to talk to you about is you being a fan of the graphic novel of The Walking Dead. How you feel about it finishing and concluding. Do you know anything about the way it concluded? And
I know nothing about anything after the three
Okay.
compendiums right there.
How do you feel about the fact that they decided to finish the Walking Dead
I'm
graphic
fine with it.
novel?
I don't give a fuck.
Do
Who
you
cares?
think it gives us hope for the end of the series?
No,
No.
because these producers are fucking morons. Like, like not only, not only have they run the show into the ground, right? And like, you'll get like, there's at least, if I'm remembering correctly, last season there were at least multiple episodes where like there was like a 5 minute window between commercials where you got like episode and then like back to commercial after 5 minutes. Like they like there's other things that are so much more important to the producers, and that is money, and it is evident by what they've done to Darabont, to Kirkman, to the rest of the creators and producers of the show, that they've stiffed out of millions of fucking dollars, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, it's pretty fucked up. It really is, and it shows. And
So you
so,
don't think this machine's dying anytime soon? You think they're gonna be pushing this thing until the cows come home? Like we're gonna be talking about Walking Dead
as
season
long as
20.
it's still their biggest show, and it's still their biggest show,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Like it had enough wiggle room to lose what 10 million viewers and still be one of the biggest spots on Sunday night.
Yeah, and
And so, why wouldn't it keep going? The only hope I have, as far as or
it's gonna
see,
drop.
it's so open ended. How do you end the zombie apocalypse effectively?
Okay.
Either you kill all your stars, or you kill off all the
Does
zombies.
anyone in here care about being spoiled in the Walking Dead comic? Do you care? Do you want to know how they did? Does anyone in the live chat know how it
I don't give a
concludes?
shit.
If anyone cares, again, step out. Spoiler alert for how the comic ends. Does anyone in the live chat right now know how it ends in the comic book or in the
I
graphic
agree,
novel?
Justin Quarantine.
Or do we have to look it up? That's what I call Smallville, having Clark go bad with red kryptonite. I cannot commit to a TV show anymore. I won't quit The Walking Dead only because I've invested like 9 years in that shit.
Yep.
I cut The Walking Dead cord after I heard Rick was leaving. Walking Dead is an abusive relationship system out. And I can look it up. Well,
I can't disagree with you.
okay,
It's
no
like
one
Stockholm
no one
syndrome.
cares. I'll write into it. How does The Walking Dead comic end? Give me the spoilers here. Kirkman opted to end the comic on his own terms. He stated in his letter 193 that part of the reason to end was that he feared lack of material to continue the series for several more issues. Can we just say that in episodes? Now, The Walking Dead concluded because it lacked material to continue the series for several more seasons. The ending came following the death of the series' main character, Rick, in issue 192. So it ends with Rick's death. So could The Walking Dead movie be the final Walking Dead that we see?
No.
No. Could they kill Rick in the movie and that just finishes the show? Please, could that happen? Could we have some tie-in like Breaking Bad's gonna do? That's what Breaking Bad Better Call Saul's gonna do. They're gonna have this. They're gonna have Better Call Saul lead into the Breaking Bad movie, and then have the Breaking Bad movie finish the whole series. And I trust Vince Gilligan's gonna do it awesome. So can we trust that The Walking Dead could do that too? No. No. No, the answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is Vince Gilligan can do it. Walking
When
Dead.
does that come back?
20 Joe. We have to wait till 2020
What?
for Better Call Saul. Yeah. And I forgot to mention that we're talking about The Boys, that Gustavo Fring shows up at the end of the season and seems to appear that he will be a bigger part in next season, considering his relationship with Elizabeth Shue and Elizabeth Shue disappearing. So it's gonna be cool to see Gus as part of that show because I think his acting will fit perfect into that universe. But yes, so The Walking Dead, Joe, all jokes aside, is there any chance that show could get you back? I always ask you that. Is there anything that could the Negan show get you back? Because that's what it seems like it's going to be this coming season.
This is what I'm doing. This is
Negan
what
show.
I'm doing. I am going into this season, and I am looking at the Negan character like this. This is how I'm going into the season, right? Negan is an act. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is playing a guy named Jack, right? That just saved a little girl in a fucking snowstorm.
Jack me off.
And so I'm looking at it like everything I've seen this guy do from the past. And anytime they bring up like, you were a big baddie and we don't like you, I'm going to be like, oh, maybe he just robbed them on the street or something, and ignore most of that conversation and see what happens. and see if I can enjoy this character a little bit more. And aside from that, the Whisperers, we got what's his name there? Our Sons of Anarchy
Opie.
homie, Opie.
Yeah,
And,
Opie's a good actor.
right.
He could do something. He could do something interesting on the show.
I'm not excited about fucking the bald chick.
Oh, Alpha.
Alpha.
Alpha, yeah.
I
Yeah.
want Beta to crush Alpha's skull.
Yeah,
or
and then we can
someone in
get
the fucking group. Those
yeah,
fucking idiots.
we can get Opie.
These
Yeah.
psychopathic idiots that have these followers like.
Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. So make sure you join us in October.
What do you got on the wall behind you?
To start talking.
Starks and
oh, they were some drawings that I'll show them to you next time you're here. That a friend of mine brought back from a convention or sorts of. They're each of the family. They're the Starks, the
Lannisters,
the Lannisters,
and the Baratheons?
or no, and then they call the Dragons. They're like Danny's crew with like Jorah and Dario and that whole crew. So I'll show them to you next time you are by.
Who drew them?
The artist's name is it's High Fidelity Recycling or something. I think is the company's name. But anyways, or maybe that's the paper. Maybe that's where the paper's from.
That sounds like.
Anyways, so not much more to talk about The Walking Dead. I don't want to dwell too much on it until we actually see it and it's happening because we've.
Are they bringing Stephen Ogg back?
Didn't he die?
Yeah, it's a zombie shit.
No, I think his character died. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
Zombie shit, dude.
Even recap of The Walking Dead sounds like I'm not missing anything. No. We'll get into talking about The Walking Dead. We'll get into this season. Wait, Lannisters? Wait, I want to talk about that. What show are you talking about? We will be talking more Game of Thrones. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's just when. Joe and I have been threatening to do another full rewatch, kind of go through and stuff. So.
Oh God, I can't.
Not yet. Eventually.
The wounds are still too.
Okay, moving on to our next show. I was going to talk about Allie Mills and that whole crew first, but let's get into Stranger Things season 3.
What's that? Allie Mills.
That's Cobra Kai. But no, let's talk about Stranger Things first because there's less I want to say about it because I think I can kind of sum this up very quickly. So first of all, no spoilers on season 3. I thought season 3 fit into the feel of season 1 and 2. If you like season 1 and 2, you're gonna like season 3 as well.
It was Stranger Things.
It was Stranger Things. It didn't lack in any way for me.
It was exactly Stranger Things.
It might have been there were some parts that were my favorite things in Stranger Things, some parts that were my least favorites. I think I would go season 1, 3, 2 for me, but I think all three.
No, 2's got Bob.
2's got Bob. Excuse me. It does have Rudy. Excuse me.
2's got Bob.
But I think all 3 seasons are pretty damn good. I think this season starts off a little slower than the other 2 in the way that the group comes together, and we'll talk more about that in spoilers. But I think in general, the way it all comes together is pretty dang good and fun when the team rejoins, it feels good in that moment, and we'll talk more about that in the spoiler section. But in general, I like it. I guess let's get into spoilers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a spoiler war. Blah 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 blah.
There's no need to spoil it. There's nothing.
No,
to spoil.
I just want to. No. There's a few things I want to talk about in here.
What?
Is Hooper alive? Is he the guy that?
Fuck?
I give a shit. Is he?
Yeah, he's alive in Russia. Okay, good. Go on. Next.
Okay, he's alive in Russia. You hate talking about what ifs. You hate theories.
Right.
You're like, I don't want to talk about that shit.
Right.
I just want to see it happen. Well, I want to talk about it. I'll mute you for a little while.
No body, no death.
The greatest the whole singing, the fact that Dustin actually did have a girlfriend, you knew that was going to happen there, and them singing the Neverending Story song was cute as hell. I thought what's her name's sister was funny, and her and Dustin had a good chemistry.
I thought she was awful. Just like season 2. I wish she was never on the fucking show. She's a horrible little actress. Goddamn, can't stand that fucking annoying girl. No, you cannot have another free sample. Get the fuck out of my shop, or I'm gonna go tell your mother that you were swearing at the customers in here.
I love Steve this season. I thought he continues to be surprising that how much I enjoy his character. I did not like Nancy as much. She was one of her whole storyline with her working at the newspaper and stuff was a little meh for me, and her relationship with Will's brother.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Was a waste of time for me. But I did enjoy Steve and the girl, I forget her name, that worked at the ice cream shop with him, and their whole interaction and their whole relationship when they got drugged.
Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil.
Yes.
What does a snake do?
What does a snake do? I love their whole interaction when they got drugged in the Russian thing. Yeah, where they're all fucked up and stuff. I thought they pulled that off really well in a scene that they could have been overacted, but they played drugged up awesome. I thought Winona was a lot more palatable this season. She didn't annoy me like in seasons past in like a screamy kind of way. And Joe, your faces are incredible. I can see your eyes rolling out of your head. And I thought Seven losing her powers was an interesting choice because she wasn't so overpowered. So everyone else had to step up a little bit more. And I do think that Hooper still.
Hey, Phil.
Yes.
What's a snake do?
Oh, Uma Thurman's daughter. Yep. Nancy needs to dump that loser to hang out with Peter. Yes, I'm saying it. Billy's MILF. And I also dig what's his name? The dude that died. The guy who was possessed most of the season. I'm blanking on his character name. The guy who drove the car and
oh right, asshole
brother guy of redhead girl and he was awesome this whole season playing the character 11. I called her 7. Did I just call her 7? 7-11. I knew it was the. I'm pretty sure.
Close enough.
It's the convenience store. Thank you, Ducks, for correcting me on that one. That would have just lived on forever. You know, number 7. When she lost her powers, she went from 11 to 7. Stranger Things season 3 was like 5th grade summer camp, skewing away from the realistic horror to campy wackiness. Meh. What was epic was Tom Hardy, who Taboo never could continue it. Billy, thank you. Billy, that's his name. Hey Phil, are they going to cut down smoking on Stranger Things? Any thoughts on that? Smoking Lives Matters. I don't like that they got shit for people smoking too much because that's what the fucking 80s were. That's like if you're on an airplane in that time period. I remember that shit back in my day when I used to walk to school in the snow. But no shit. Some
airplanes still even have fucking ashtrays on them.
They do, but I don't know if you remember that much when you were a kid, Joe. But like when it was like that, when the smoke was everywhere around there, and
dude, I've worked in hospitals that have allowed smoking in the hospital, like at the nursing station and shit.
Timo says, aside from nostalgia, Stranger Things does not do anything for me. I can understand that to a certain extent. I still think it's decent storytelling, but that's me. The thing that I like, one thing that I like that I can understand people not liking as much, but I had the same conversation, so it nostalgically spun my thing was with the New Coke conversation that they had where the one kid likes New Coke and then everyone's complaining about it. It's only because I was in that conversation where everyone was liking
everybody was in that fucking conversation from the 80s, dude.
Yeah.
Don't think you're special.
Yeah, but I like that. Some people hate that. They're like, oh, that's just nostalgia. And it is. But like if you're having that time period when New Coke came out and you don't have that conversation, you're lying. That conversation happened. It wasn't just, it
happened in every group of fucking
group of friends. There was
group of adults.
Yep.
Everybody on the fucking planet was talking about. You didn't just have that conversation. You had that conversation multiple times.
Yep. And someone who asked what I was sipping, I am sipping on Blue Moon.
New Coke.
New Coke, yes. Zima is New Coke. So moving on, I get
it's the 90s, dude.
Moving on, I guess it was. Yeah, it's true. But I was just thinking about Zima recently. But moving on, what's going to be interesting here is I didn't even think about this, but the next 3 shows, or counting here with Stranger Things, the final 3 things that we're talking about today or tonight here are all 80s time period pieces. We're talking about Stranger Things now. Next, we're going to be talking about Cobra Kai, and we're going to end talking a little bit about Glow, which are all set relatively in the same time.
Let's do Glow first because I haven't finished Glow, and I don't want to be spoiled for the rest of it.
So
I'm only like 3 episodes in.
So Glow. Okay, let's talk about. I want to first before we get into specifics.
Season opener was fucking fantastic.
It was great. Okay, all 3 shows do the 80s thing, Joe. Which one do you?
Well, Cobra Kai, not particularly.
Cobra Kai's
back to the
80s. Cobra Kai's different. Okay,
it's not. Yeah.
So between Glow and Stranger Things, what do you think? What captures it better, or captures 2 different elements of it? In some ways,
I think Glow captures it better.
Yeah, I do too, because it has more of a sense of humor about it, but
Less of a sense of humor about it.
You think less of a sense of humor?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because it's done. Someone said it in the chat. The campiness of the way it's done in Stranger Things.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying with that.
It's almost on par. Almost on par with what's that show with the remake of Kevin Arnold's show there?
Oh, the Goldbergs.
He loves. Yeah, that
one.
I
don't think it's that bad.
It's not. It's a step below.
Hey Phil, how's the titty count for this last season of Glow? If I'm being
count is high
if I'm being honest, it's a high titty count, and there's a couple of
might be the highest titty count,
and it's also the highest penis count too. You got a couple cocks mixed in too. So
cocks are good, man.
Yeah, it goes well. So Glow season 3 here. Okay,
cocks finish up the experience, man.
Now. Joe, you've only watched 4 episodes. I've watched all the way through. I won't spoil anything for you, so we'll keep this to non-spoilers.
I think spoiled the cocks for me, man.
I think season 3 of Glow is good. I don't like it quite as much as season 1 and 2, but again, similar to what we said about Stranger Things, if you like Glow, you're going to like the season. This is a little bit more of a character study season. There's a few things that I very much like about the season that I'll wait to talk about on a different time with spoilers with Joe after when he's done with the season. But for the most part, I love it. Debbie kills it this season, and so does Sheila. Sheila has an amazing season.
Yeah, we should save the rest of this for next week.
Yeah, no, we can talk about this next week as well. So we'll talk more about Glow on next week, but I just got to say, if you like Glow, it's come out. Also next week, if you watch season 1 of we won't be talking about this soon, but if you're looking for more shows to watch and you enjoyed season 1 of Mindhunter on Netflix, that season 2 will be coming out next week, and I'm excited for that to see if it can match the same level of season 1, because I really did enjoy season 1 of Mindhunter on Netflix, which is really interesting to me because one of the main actors, I only know him from Glee and from musicals and stuff. Is that beeping here or your house?
No, that was you, man.
Was it? Oh, I think it was the.
Yeah, that beeping was you.
It was the dryer ending. It meant the podcast is over. No, okay. So let's go to our final thing that we're going to be talking about tonight. Joe has to kind of somewhat lead the conversation a little bit more tonight because he more recently rewatched it.
I did. I just rewatched it this week, man. It's just fucking fantastic.
So we're going to finally talk here about Cobra Kai season 2. Okay. So
dude, Elizabeth Shue is so fucking hot.
Well, she's not in this season. Oh, I guess she pops like in some flashbacks. Is she in flashback? No. Okay, so non-spoilers about Cobra Kai season 2. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself. Season 2 is awesome. I love season 1. Most people are going to say they like season 1 better. I've rewatched season 2 more than I rewatched season 1. I don't know. I can't explain why. I think season 1's a better written, tighter season, but there's something about season 2 that I just love even more. I don't know. I can't.
Dude, season 2.
It's so good.
Okay, is pretty good. There's some things with it that are definitely wrong, but when it comes down to it, and that last episode.
Okay, so do you like the last episode with the final crazy ridiculous?
That fight is fucking awesome, dude. That fight is fucking awesome. It's ridiculous. The action is good. The kids deliver really well with this fight scene. It is on par with any other large-scale brawl fight scene that I've seen in a long time. It's definitely, add some fucking blood spurts, right? And it's as good as any fucking Kill Bill shit.
Oh, Jason!
Seriously.
Jason Voorhees says, "Hey guys, no joke. I walked the new Ghostbusters set on Friday. They're filming in Alberta. You mean with like all the old actors and stuff like that? Interesting." And Joe, have you watched Peaky Blinders?
I watched the first season or two of Peaky Blinders and thought it was really good, but I was done after that. Maybe for the first season. I think both first 2 seasons, but I'm not sure. Definitely the first season.
But yeah, I agree with you 100%. That last fight at the end is really awesome. I like so much of the season. I thought Daniel-san had a much better role this season compared to last. I think Johnny continues to be the highlight of the season.
Dude, the goddamn dinner at Taco Mexican.
Oh yeah, the rest.
Quarter.
Yeah, that whole thing when they finally fought, them getting drunk together, Johnny getting on the internet and going on They fought when Daniel-san showed up at the house to get his kid when his daughter ended up passing out at Johnny's house because she was too drunk and stuff. And after they had just hung out that night, when Johnny put that to the internet, Johnny's whole thing when he's on Tinder and shit, it's just super super freaking hilarious.
Yeah, there's so many good parts of this.
So many great stuff. I mean, we could talk forever about Cobra Kai, and we'll talk a little bit more about it and what we're hoping for season 3 because it ends. We talk about the fight. I thought I like the character of Hawk. He's a little bit over the top. He's not my favorite character on the show. If I'm talking about
Stingray, man.
Stingray, yeah, Stingray. Did you like the addition of Stingray, or was that a bit too much from a comedic standpoint?
It wasn't a bit too much from a comedic standpoint. It was pretty funny. Especially, like, I thought we were going to your friend's house. Oh, we are at my friend's house, man. I take karate with them.
Your friends are in high school. Yeah, no, yeah, so, whatever. Hey, Walking David, good to have the Walking David in the live motherfucking show.
Yeah, it was a bit too much, but it was still good.
Yeah. But Johnny is the highlight. Martin Kove playing Sensei Kreese really steps up and gives a better performance than he ever did in any of the movies. And... Yep. And I think that's one of the things you get in this. You were talking about that final fight scene. And I'm not afraid to say I really do love the first 2 movies, and I have some nostalgic love for the third movie. And I appreciate the next Karate Kid. And I think I even like the Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan remake movie. I think Jackie Chan especially is good. And I think it looks really well done visually. I think it's a little long. It should have been called the Kung Fu Kid, not the Karate Kid. But I think it's a decent movie. But the fight choreography on Cobra Kai is the best the series has ever been. It's the best the series has ever been. It really works. And also,
there ain't no fucking crane kick in it, that's for sure.
And if there is, there's a funny joke about it. And the episode, I think it was episode 6, where the Cobra Kais come back together, was exceptionally well done too. And them in the fight in the club, and then the dude dying, and the guy actually being put in a body bag.
Dude. It's fucking awesome. It's amazing.
They actually put him in a body bag. That's such a slight id joke. They put Tommy in a body bag. They put Dutch in prison because the actor didn't want to be on the show. And it all culminates at the end. Spoiler alert one more time. That Miguel breaks his back or gets all fucked up in that fight. And that
almost dies.
That leads into some really interesting things into season 3, Joe.
But the most important thing is the final shot of the season when Johnny throws his phone into the water, or does he drop it? I don't think he throws it into the beach.
He throws it into the beach. Yeah, he throws it on the side.
And there, as he walks away, his accidental send of a text message to Allie pops up
right after a girl bumps into
sends you a friend request.
Yep, the girl that was like perfect for him, that he bumps into the bar, that does the bump trick to him, and then he ditches at the last moment. But yes, and
to go beat up the neighbor's Aussie boyfriend.
Yep. And also at that point, we find out that Kreese has taken over the Cobra Kais and kicks Johnny out, which leads us perfect to get the return of Terry Silver. People that don't know who Terry Silver is, he's the highlight member from Karate Kid Part 3. He was the main villain. He's the co-owner of Cobra Kai, and I'd love to see him show back up in season 2. Also, season 3, I mean. There's also rumors that Daniel-san, this is some spoiler scene stuff, there's rumors that Daniel-san will return to Okinawa next season and possibly bump into Chosen, which possibly could happen. And open up the world even more. Is he going to Okinawa to hide Johnny's kid? I'm blanking on his name.
From the law
or something like that. Yeah. What's he or bringing him there for training or something like that? I don't know. It's to
get away with the daughter.
Will the Karate Kid bad boy show back up? Will we? Will Hilary Swank show up? Will somehow will Kumiko show back up?
No.
Will any of the
no.
other characters from the Karate Kid universe
no.
show up?
What will happen next week on Cobra Kai? No, come on.
Well, I do think Terry Silver will show up. I do think if because he is co-owner of, they've established that as part of the Karate Kid canon of who the co-owner of the Cobra Kai is, and that's how easily Kreese can kind of step in there because he owns the franchise and has like a whole legal team of a rich friend. And he's referred to in season 2 where Kreese says something about a friend offered me a job, but I didn't take it out of pride. That friend is definitely Terry, because Terry is he saved Terry's life in the war many times. Karate Kid 3 exists in this universe. It gets mentioned several times in both seasons.
See him joined Cobra Kai.
Yeah, we hear him talking about that, and we hear him also talk about Miyagi's the bonsai tree store. That is again, stupid word, but that is canon to the Karate Kid universe. So that character exists.
Of course it is. They all are.
Yep.
They're the Karate Kid movies. They all exist in the universe.
Absolutely.
Even Swanks.
Yep, even Swanks. So Swank possibly,
who should have been that chick from the area.
Could have been back. We could be back. Oh my goodness, here we go, Joe. And we didn't have it. We didn't mention the numbers, but we do have some fucking voicemails and text. And 6 Emperor Tianas. Santovia Major says, Phil, people are wondering if everything's okay. Okay. The stream earlier that I was supposed to be doing, Lauren and I talked. We will be doing that stream later in the year. I was busy. I've been crazy busy with work during the day, so I haven't had time. And she is getting busy for university, so we're going to touch base at the beginning of the fall and redo it then. Sorry for anyone that was waiting for that particular podcast, but we're not canceling it. We're just postponing it. It will happen eventually. So and Joe, we have so many voicemails. Should we start taking voicemails from the Walking Dead finale? No, I'm kidding. I mean, from the Game of Thrones finale. But no, but Cobra Kai season 2, I think it's not quite, if I'm really judging it, it's not quite as perfect as season 1 is, but it's really well done and really fun, and I like it a lot, and I'm extremely excited for season 3 to see where the show goes. I hope that it's not a show I want to last forever, though, Joe. It's not a show I want to last like 7 seasons or something. I hope that season 4 is its last or something. You know, I think it has.
No, 5 is good.
5, you think 5?
See, they're only 10 episodes. They can do what, you know. They can add all new characters. They can add new fucking dojos to go against. Like, come on now.
And I guess that's the thing, that what the show does really well in a way that actually makes someone like Joe give a shit about high school drama is that they cast kids that you don't hate.
Yeah. That's an important part of it.
I could easily have seen you come to this show that go, I love all the Daniel-san and Johnny shit, but fuck all these new characters. I hate these new characters. Miguel sucks. Daniel-san's daughter sucks.
I like Miguel.
Tori. I even like Tori for what she was in this season at certain
Johnny's
points.
Kid is kind of like shit.
Johnny's Kid is my least favorite one. And I'm blanking on his name, but he's actually
because he's shitty.
I saw him on another show too. I recently watched Designated Survivor with Kiefer Sutherland. He plays. He's not very good. He's the weakest link of the cast. I like Daniel.
He looks like he's always trying to like sell me something.
Yeah.
Like I'm always waiting for him to like turn out to be the slimy like idiot that he makes me feel like he is.
And that's why I hope he has a full heel turn, so to speak, and embraces that he hurt. But no, he's going to get all emo about it. Oh my God, I hurt Miguel. Oh my God. What did I do? And Daniel-san, help me. And he's going to be like, I'm going to get you out of here. We're going to fly you to Okinawa and hide you out. Because Miguel's a piece of shit. I hate Miguel anyway. So all in all, I think, again, Cobra Kai is was definitely one of my favorite television show experiences this year. It's I looked forward to it last year, and I was wondering if they could match the same energy and have me as excited bounce from episode to episode, and they did. If you, again, I said this a lot tonight, if you like the last season, they're not doing anything different or worse this season. They kill it again, and I loved it. Great shit. 10 out of 10 motherfucking side buttholes there. So I guess, I mean, we have a couple other things we could babble about, but I know both Joe and I both have early stuff, so we'll start to wrap things up here. If anyone has any questions or comments about anything that we talked about tonight, now is the time. You can also leave a voicemail or text at 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. Sorry to hear that nobody really has business on things.
Does anybody get video of Timo on the mechanical bull?
I do. I have it. And Tony has it as well. We know Timo hurt her.
Yeah, I was just reading. She hurt her knee.
She hurt her knee.
I think surgery on it. Yeah, dude, you don't get on fucking bulls, mechanical or otherwise, man. They throw you off.
Broke wants me to talk about Gotham. I still haven't watched the final season of Gotham, Broke.
Pennyworth
is that Alfred show that's coming out?
Yeah, I haven't seen this on Epix.
Hey,
What
Phil.
else hold on. I gotta look at our chat for a second.
Hey, Phil, would you praise Cobra Kai that much if you weren't a fan of the movies? Yes, I would. I think Cobra Kai works in and of itself beyond the movies. I think it's better than the movies. It's more palatable to more people. The first Karate Kid movie, it's more of a schlocky kind of, I wouldn't say they're some of my favorite movies. They're more nostalgic-y kind of kids movies. I like Rocky better than the Karate Kid. It's the same kind of movie in some ways. The Karate Kid there. But I think Cobra Kai is the best version of this particular universe. Would I like it if I never saw it? I could see an element that I can enjoy that, especially because they show you enough in flashback scenes that you understand the context of what's going on. So I will talk about Gotham, Broke, when I finally watch the final season, when it's added onto a Netflix eventually. I will also say, if you're a fan of Eddie Murphy and you liked him as a stand-up comic, definitely check out, even if you can't stand Jerry Seinfeld and don't like this show, check out Eddie Murphy's Comedians in Cars Drinking Coffee, because it's 40 minutes of hearing him talk about stand-up comedy, which is something that maybe you haven't got to do ever, considering how much Eddie Murphy shies away from comedy. There's no talk about his movies, really. It's all just about, dude, why don't you do stand-up comedy? And you get to hear Eddie kind of talk about it a little bit, and it's a good interview between two comics, even if you're not a fan of Seinfeld, because I know some people aren't. But it's interesting, especially if you're a fan of 80s Eddie Murphy. You see a glimpse of, you don't even see the glimpse, you see Eddie Murphy again. And you're like, by the end, he starts off really tense, and by the end, you're like, oh, that's fucking Eddie Murphy. Where the fuck's this guy been? And so I like that. Yeah.
I want to see a more Eddie Murphy stand-up, but
he says he'll do it again. He said that Don Rickles accosted him right before he died and said, dude, you suck. Do stand-up comedy. Your movies are horrible. Do it. The people are disappointed in you because you don't do stand-up.
So I got a couple shout-outs for the people out there. I was just looking back at the text.
Do it.
The ones that I forgot all about until I had to read it again. Dairy Girls on Netflix. Love it. It's fucking hilarious. And Black Summer on Netflix. Zombie shit. Pay attention to everything going on in the scenes around what's actually going on in the scene. Like the backgrounds. You're going to have fun watching this. It's fun. It's light on the zombie shit, heavy on all the rest of it. But you know how it goes. And then Bad Omens on Amazon Prime. All really good. And The Detour. The Detour is fucking amazing. Detour is absolutely fucking amazing.
Have you watched Chernobyl on HBO?
I watched like an episode and then yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but the people said, Joe, have you ever?
Acting's good, but
Johnny's kid versus Johnny as a kid. Who wins in a fight?
Space Babes from Outer Space wins in that fight. What are you talking about, Phil?
Jay asks, Johnny as a kid versus Johnny's son. Who wins?
Johnny as a kid.
I don't know. Johnny's son has like a lot of has that Daniel son karate that works well against Johnny, but I guess doesn't work too well against Johnny because, excuse me, Johnny kicks his ass most of that fight, and Daniel gets a couple.
He had one kick, and then
Daniel gets some punches in, but Johnny like throws him.
No,
beats.
yeah, Johnny kicks his ass.
It's a very defensive, nice joke.
And that's how it should have gone. That's how it should have gone. Right in the fucking in their little like tussle there. Johnny should just kick Danielson's ass.
Oh, I also
Go
watched
street brawl on him, fucking UFC style. Fuck that shit. Boom. Hit
Chernobyl
him with a fucking cup inside the room or something. Smack him in the face with a mug.
Chernobyl is dark and sad. The Leftovers was better since Timo.
Fucking lamp.
Stand-up
lamp from the corner, just start beating him with it. Fucking ficus tree, whatever the fuck it is. Grab one and start fucking wailing on Danny. A ficus, yeah, that's the one.
That's good.
That's the one. Fucking hit him with a chair or some shit. Kick him right off the fucking bat. Oh no, he's on the ground floor, isn't he? Yeah.
Have you guys
run him over, dude? That's it. Just run the fucker over.
Have you guys watched The Expanse? If not, I highly recommend it, especially since you guys seem to be sci-fi fans. I have not watched it yet, but I've heard a lot of people recommend it to me, and it is something I will watch at some point in time. I'm kind of caught up in the Picard coming back, Picard series coming, and I'm reinvigorated with Star Trek right now. I just got the Deep Space Nine, What They Left Behind documentary that I can't wait to watch and dig apart. I will be doing a whole review on that coming up soon, which will be very fun. And they actually, and I've glimpsed through it a little bit, Joe, and you'd be happy to know that Babylon 5 is mentioned in the documentary. The words Babylon 5 are said a few times.
That we stole Babylon 5
No,
shit?
fuck your balls. So
that we stole Babylon 5 shit. The shit had been shopped around fucking Hollywood for years
you
and
years. You and your
conspiracy
theories.
And so then we stole
just
Babylon
because
5 shit. Is that what it says?
Steal
Is that
it.
what it says?
That's what Jeffrey Combs says. He was on both shows. Anyways, so if you like The Leftovers, check out John from Cincinnati. I think Mitch Ryder, or the director of Dead Word, did a similar thing and did it better. I couldn't get past episode 2 of The Expanse, says Baroque. Lady Laura, my husband, and I got to the 5th episode of the first season. We're really enjoying it. It's so good, just like Peaky Blinders. Did you guys like the Kung Fu Hustle? Oh, Kung Fu Hustle is a great movie. I like Shaolin Soccer a little bit better.
They were both fantastic.
But they're both fantastic movies. Great stuff. Okay, I want to talk about one more thing before we wrap this up, and Joe gave his list. I have a lot of shows too that I've been watching, but none of them are good, and a lot of them are older shows that people have watched already, and some of them aren't, like I said, aren't very awesome. But a couple of them are good. I enjoyed Dead to Me on Netflix. I mentioned that a little bit before. The show with Lindsay Cardini and Christina Applegate.
Haven't seen it. Sucks.
Yeah, haven't seen it. It sucks. But I enjoyed that. I thought it was really good. Okay, this is in the category of shows you used to watch or watched before that never watch again, just so you know how it ends. I watched the final season of Orange is the New Black because I'm a masochist and kind of watched all the way through that. And sometimes I get TV Stockholm syndrome with a show, and I have to finish it off. And I gotta say, as much as I think after season 1, they never quite recaptured the energy that season 1 had, which was a character study and kind of almost
for what?
Orange is the New Black, a character study in the first season that almost was akin to Lost in some ways, the good aspects of Lost, where you had every episode be about a different character from a different perspective and stuff like that. The middle seasons got caught up in really crappy narratives, really ridiculous storylines and stupidity.
Yeah, no, it just kept going downhill.
Yeah, it got worse and worse every season, or some moments were all right, some acting choices were...
Even Lori Petty couldn't fucking drag the fucking show out.
She was really good on the show. You still got some good individual performances, but the storyline and just in general sucked. The final season is a watered down version of what season 1 was. It still doesn't quite have the magic that season 1 had, but it's an improvement over all the rest of the seasons to me, at least most of the season. The end, not so much. I don't really love how it all ends and all gets put together, but it's kind of a little bit yada yada. But similar to, I would say, even Weeds would be the same thing, another Jenny Cohen's show, that I think the last season of Weeds comes back up a little bit in that final stretch of episodes, for me anyways, that didn't quite, that in the middle crashes and then comes up like, see, we can almost be good again if we want to. And it's like, fuck you. Why don't you do that the whole time?
Dude, right. No. See, that's just it. I am, like, I have Stockholm Syndrome on one fucking show. You know me. I'm not going to fucking stick around for bullshit crap if it fucking goes down, if I start up season 2. If in the first 10 minutes of the fucking episode of season 2, episode 1, I'm not like, this is good, I'm done. I don't got time to invest in fucking stupid ass fuck faces that, recycle the same stupid fucking storylines and antics that they played in previous seasons and TV tropes that have done across countless fucking genres. It's all like, you fucking fire them all. Fire them all.
And I hear you, but I do have to give them credit for the final season. That was the best season since the first season for me.
I can't give them fucking credit for the final season because I won't ever fucking watch the final season because I won't ever watch the second half of fucking season 3 and beyond.
Tom says Joe's a quitter. Timo says, I need to learn how to make YouTube videos so I can make recommendations. I need to watch Black Sails. Phil, do you watch it? I'm about to start it pretty soon. I've watched a couple of... I'm going to definitely watch it. I have access to watching it, and I just have to sit down and do it when I have a little bit more time over the fall and the winter. Phil, Con Air live commentary, do it. I was just watching a Nick Cage talking about his favorite movies today video, and that was very fun. Joe,
dude, Johnny 23.
Joe, what is your opinion if you watched it of the Motley Crue Dirt movie?
It was
on Netflix?
good.
It was good. I thought it was funny.
I liked it a lot.
I like it.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I loved fucking Ramsey in it.
Yeah, I thought Ramsey was excellent in it, and I think in general it was really good casting, and again another 80s kind of slice of life moment that I think was done well. Netflix seems to really be exposing the 80s right now with a lot of stuff, and I think I think they capture it well in that stuff. I think it was good. I also recently watched that Angela Bassett. It was the Other's Day or something. It's a story about like 3 mothers that go to New York. It's a really cheesy. It's kind of like a cheesy family kind of movie. And I have to say it was awesome seeing Angela Bassett, who I consider one of the best serious actors out there, play a kind of silly, goofy role. It's not a movie for everybody. It's very cheesy. It's one movie you'll watch with like your aunt or your mom or your kid.
I don't know. That Korean movie was good. The Korean couple there. I don't know if you saw it. I can't think of the name at the moment. On Netflix, there, the Koreans there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good weird stuff with that.
Always Be My Maybe.
I haven't seen that one yet. Anything you desire, Felicia. The Dirt wasn't terribly accurate, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely worth watching. Does it bother you when you can spot it? When you can spot the actor can't play the instrument? No, it doesn't bother me. Not every movie band can be Spinal Tap and can actually learn to play all their instruments, which is part of the reason what makes Spinal Tap that much more awesome and the best rock and roll movie band ever is because they wrote and played all of those fucking songs. And then they relearned it and played different styles of music in like The Mighty Wind and stuff. Christopher Guest is extremely fucking talented, and so is Harry Shearer, who people know from
Michael McKean.
And Michael McKean from who people say Chuck sings. Yes, he is the lead singer of one of the baddest ass rock and roll bands of all time. It's fucking Spinal Tap. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Joe and I will be back on Sunday evenings as much as we can whenever Joe has a Sunday night off and I'm not doing crazy working. And I am going to be doing some house sitting the next couple of evenings this week for a dog. So I'll be all alone in a house. So I might do some phone streams either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday evening to talk about some other bullshit, or be back here pretty soon to talk about the Star Trek movie and also start talking about some more Star Trek stuff and what you want to hear and what you want to be excited for leading up to Star Trek Picard. Joe, are you have any interest in the Star Trek Picard? Are you all excited to read it? Because you're a Next Generation movie. You like shitting on Deep Space Nine, but you're a fan too, right?
Yeah, stop it, dude.
Have you watched the trailer for Picard?
No.
Data was in it. So is 7 of 9.
Yep, I know.
Oh yeah, you know it. You know it. I know it.
I know.
It's fucking amazing. But no,
I cannot wait.
But what I can't.
I'm very excited for Picard.
I am very excited too. But what I
just Data's head though, right?
Yeah, it was. We're not sure what date it is. And Brent Spiner has said he's not exactly he can't say exactly what he is, but he's not what you think he is.
He's in some fresh hell.
He might be in some Fresh Hell. Great show. And if you haven't already and you like Brent Spiner, watch Fresh Hell here on YouTube right now. You can watch the whole series.
It's fucking great. Watch it.
It is.
That shit right.
Yeah,
everybody turn off this shit and watch fucking Fresh Hell.
Yeah, watch Fresh Hell. But we hope you guys enjoyed being back in the live motherfucking chat. We sure enjoyed having you, and we sure enjoyed being back here doing this Wayne's World broadcast now. The summers are always a little bit more difficult for us, but we'll be back as much as we can and try to get out here at least once a week between now and the fall when we start talking about The Walking Disaster and a lot of other really fun shows coming up.
What's that show, The Walking Disaster? That sounds like a good one.
Yeah, actually, that sounds like way more of a fun show than the next show we're going to be talking about. And also, if anyone has any requests for Game of Thrones content that you want us to do, you can always email me at igotissuesman@gmail.com so we can break into that. And there might be a book coming at some point we can talk about. And yeah, Better Call Saul's coming in 2020. I'm going to still try to get Joe to catch up on Westworld so you can do Westworld stuff with me. Look at those eyes. He can't wait. But, and the Orville. Okay, last thing, Joe.
When's that coming back? That
Orville.
got a delay too, didn't it?
It got switched. It's going to be on Hulu now. Are you at all worried about the quality level of Orville continuing on? Why did they? I don't know. Because Fox are a bunch of fuckers and maybe they wanted to preemptively jump ship before Fox canceled them. I don't know. Fox is notorious for canceling shows that people like. There's a huge ton of fans of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I never loved that show personally.
Oh, dude!
But I know people. I'm saying I'm not hating on the show. I'm just saying it didn't connect with me. Humor's, not everyone finds the same things funny. But I know there's billions of fans of that show that are pissed that Fox just said "fuck you" to that show, and Fox does that a lot.
Dude, this kid watches fucking Gilmore Girls,
Raising Hope,
fucking CW.
I don't watch Gilmore Girls.
Drama,
fuck you! I don't watch Gilmore Girls.
And then, but says, Brooklyn Nine-Nine just not my bag of fucking
it's not.
teabag in my face.
I'd rather watch 90210. I'd rather watch Dylan McKay's money get stolen. God. You know? Yeah, you fucking motherfucker. Go fucking A. Go eat
him some
you fucking
shit.
They always give me shit. You're a fucking shut. Joe. It's about fucking time. Then we're gonna end the show like this.
Shut the fuck up, Joe.
Oh my goodness. Everybody, thank you so much. If you haven't already and you enjoyed the show, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, share the channel with a friend. We're going to do more broadcasts like this where it's just a Sunday night stream, Wednesday night stream, and then we're going to talk about lots of different topics. So it's even more important than ever for you guys to share our podcast because we're not necessarily talking about a specific show in the title of the video and all that stuff. So the way that people find us is a lot different. So if you enjoyed our silly babblery, make sure you pass us along and help more people join our little silly group.
Pass it along like a fucking STD.
Do it. We are the SDT, the Stone
Temple.
We're the
STD of the YouTube, baby.
Oh,
the
gross.
Internet.
I don't know if we want to put that on a T-shirt. I don't know, Joe.
We're the only thing that you take home with us.
Tom, plenty of technical difficulties. Every time Joe was on camera alone, what do you think I was doing?
What happens on Phil the Issues Guy
stays on Phil the Issues Guy. What do you think? I don't want to be on camera every moment, Tom, staring into your beautiful name? Oh, I needed this. Thank you, everybody. Use our logo.